para sa Raiders.
Manidefend ba? Hindi enough yung damage! Wala na minions! Walang minions!
Walang minions! Oh my G! Buhay pa ang Onyx sa laban na ito. Si Oh my G! With the touch para dito kay Next! Pero yung camera nasa kanya. Buhay pa rin pa si Ryota. Gusto maging salot sa laban na ito para sa
Ayaw talaga mamatay!
Pero sabi ng RSG, tapos na RSGPH eliminating Onyx.
Naman nababato yung altar pero mukhang si Kyle DC ang target. Babagsak na ba ang jungler ng Brent Esports? He goes down! Nakuha nila so wala nang magre-retry doon sa kabila pero si Super Marco hindi kita diretso. Smart Omega mukhang libreng lord na naman. Hindi sila magpapapigil na wala na nga si
Max.
Fu. Bawas na nga yung
Uy,
base.
Ogwen.
Pero meron atang isang minion at mukhang itutuloy ito ng Smart Omega.
Eto, boy.
Going in for the base lock. The Barangay takes game number 1. Sakto, meron pa silang bawi. Caltese is still alive.
Ryzen.
Oh, win mababat habang apat pa sila. Guy and 1. Win away na lang sila bago mag-advance. Papasok naman sila may sipa mula kay Ogwen. Naibasa niya si Jackdo and wala na si Dito Max. Pagsak na rin si Rencho at si Jackdo. Si Ryzen at Kelra na lang ang kailangan dumipensa. Magbe-base lang ang Penny Sports. Hindi pa kami uuwi. The Hive Forces.
Hanap nila si Ryzen. View goes in!
Fury na petrify incandescent. Ibibigay
Base
nila
na?
sa base. At mukhang walang uuwi ng maaga.
Uy, teka
Pero
lang!
babawi. Naku po, Region lang mag-isa. Brent Esports Forces Game number 5. Oh, well, ayaw offended play. Huli dalawa. Falling star mula kay Renzo. Pero buhay pa rin silang 5. May Lord, may Minions. Pwede mag-base lock. Ang kapot sa Lason. Palakas ng palakas. Brent Esports.
Reverse sweep is real para sa Hive, para sa Brent Esports.
Magandang tanghali mula sa tahanan ng pinakamalakas na Mobile Legends Bang Bang players sa buong mundo. Ako po si Mara Aquino at ito ang MPL Philippines Season 10 Playoffs. Tuloy-tuloy ang pagdiriwang natin ng milestone season ng ating liga. Today, we'll witness the fated matchup between Carl Tizzy's Echo and Demon Kite's RSG Philippines. After that, we'll be treated to a clash between title holders as the M3 World Champions Blacklist International welcomes M2 World Champions Brent Esports in the upper bracket. Sino nga ba ang makakahakbang papalapit sa pinaka-inaabangang M4 World Championship? Yan ang ating aalamin. Kaya naman, casters, pasok!
Thank you very much, Amara. Ladies and gentlemen, after an electric day 1 of the playoffs here, you've made it to day 2. There's been surprises, and we have more in store for you. Echo versus RSG. It's us, the We Bear Bros. It's me, Naisu, Leo, Renmar. Guys, how you feeling?
Awesome day to start. Again, nobody goes home tonight, but then again, still high stakes, especially for our first matchup.
Yeah, man, a lot of stakes there, a lot of heated things to talk about, but more about that later.
Yeah, right now we do want to mention the Smart Community feature. We've been doing this pretty much the whole season. All you guys have to do is let us know who you want to nominate for the 10 Legends, and don't forget to add the hashtags SmartPowersMPLS10 to your nomination to join. So join in. Again, we even picked the winner yesterday, if I remember right. It's Angelito, and congratulations to him. So, yeah, there is people being picked here. They get that skin. They get to join this. So don't forget to join. We have actually a lot in store for you guys here. But with that being said, again, the matchup ahead of us, Echo, RSG Philippines. Man, to be honest, Echo's sitting pretty, right? They've been waiting here, right? After all the action that they had to deal with and go with. This is a grudge match from the regular season because, again, if you want to take a look back on the regular season, Echo never won against RSG Philippines.
Yeah, no, dare I say this might even be a grudge match in the making since Season 9, since the forming of the base of this Echo that we're seeing, also dubbed the Super Team about months back. I like how now they actually ended up in the upper bracket where they've always been gunning for.
Yeah, they're going to be up against the defending champions, though. So finally, they got out of that first round. No one can ever say for Season 10 that Echo was only just a first-round playoff team. Now they made it to the second round. But yeah, they're going to have to go up against the defending champions and MSC champions as well.
Yeah, and I mean, you're seeing it here, right? That was the record back from Week 4 to Week 8. RSG, I mean, they had a great performance. And, you know, some people would agree that early on, the first half of the regular season, RSG Philippines wasn't up to par of what people initially thought, right?
Oh, definitely.
They did struggle. I mean, they were vocal about it too. And then they kind of like refined that whole, this is actually typical of them because Coach Panda has said it before, that when they have those losses, they are obviously taking them as lessons learned.
Yeah.
They recalibrate, refine, and then usually they come back stronger. Now, look at yesterday. They 3-0'd Onic, sending them home.
I believe there are quotes to back this up and even more so to show you in what to expect in the coming matchup. But again, the way that RSG struggled in Week 1, it's interesting how they even got a win against Echo here in the first round. So at the expense of the upper bracket team here in Echo, they still got it. So they reset on Echo, and then going into the second round, they gave Echo a hope. Like, maybe you can. 1 point, but still, nada.
Yeah, I'm sure Echo was watching very, very closely yesterday with how well RSG were playing. So disciplined. Their communication, their execution were so clean. Again, they faced against a team that they didn't even get a single game in the regular season against in Onic PH, swept them. So now I'm pretty sure Echo is looking at defending champions and saying, all right, we got to bring our A game today.
Yeah, and we are going to be taking a look at an interview here between, I believe, for Demon Kite on what he has to say about this matchup. Let's take a look.
Demon, kahit bihira ka namin makita, mag-recall or mag-taunt sa isang game, pero merong isang specific play na kalaban nyo yung Echo at nirecollan mo si Carl TZ after nyong manakaw yung objective. Anong pumasok sa utak mo at bakit mo ginawa to?
Nakikita ko lang kasi siya lagi na kada makita ng kalaban parang nagtitipi-tipi ganon. So, ayun. Nung namatay ko sa Lord, tinibihan ko lang. Wala namang pumasok sa isip ko. Sadya nag-TV lang talaga.
Binawian mo lang. Binawian lang. Handa ka ba para muling makaharap si Carl TZ?
Handang-handa na.
Always.
Always, and the nickname.
Just a lot of reverence, a lot of respect for the
Versus Demon Kite matchup, mano a mano. And
man.
we'll see, again, right, as the teams get reared up and ready to go here, they're going to be They were finally able to break free of the first round exit curse after securing an upper bracket playoff berth. But greeting them there is the King Slayers in ultimate form. Arriving on stage, Sanji, Sanford, Carl TZ, Benny Cutie, and Yawi. Louder and prouder, here they come. It's Echo. last, the Raiders clenched vengeance to continue their tournament life. What's left is to keep on moving forward to defend the throne and conquer the world. Open the gates for Aqua, Naz, Demon Kite, Emon, and Light. The King Slayers are fired up. Tremble before RSG Philippines. And their coaches, Coach Tic Tac, Coach Panda. There we go. The sportsmanship, the fist bump is there.
It happened.
It happened.
Carl Tizzy, Demon Kite.
Off to a good start already.
Yeah, but okay. Unnecessary analysis and overthinking.
Go for it.
Carl Tizzy went for the fist bump. Demon Kite went for the high five. It was like rock, paper, scissors. He's saying he's paper and Carl Tizzy's rock.
So basically, Demon Kite won. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think they were playing rock, paper, scissors at that moment. But
Either way.
Either way, I think it's still sportsmanship.
It counts. It counts.
Yeah, it definitely counts. But again, just having some fun here. The banter that they had during the regular season, all leading up to this, right?
Yeah.
And in a way, this is what a lot of people are looking forward to, watching the two junglers match up against each other. But not just the junglers. Let's take a look at the teams, right? The roster for Echo, like we just mentioned, Sanford, Benny Cutie, Yawi, Carl Tizzy, and Sanji.
I'm looking forward to Benny Cutie actually coming out stronger. A lot in the community, pundits, analysts would say that Benny Cutie has been struggling. So this matchup in this best of 5 to go ahead and get one step closer to the World Championships, might as well Benny come on out.
Yeah, RSGPH, Nats, Emon Light, Demon Kite, and Aqua. I'm looking at Nats here. He had a monster performance against Onyx Philippines yesterday. Wolf was saying it in the analyst and the casters, Midnight in the backstage, we were all saying this is Nats back in MVP form. This is Nats, the terrifying XP laner of RSG Philippines. The performance he brought out in MSC to just body anyone who went up against him in lane. He brought that out. Let's see if he can show that again against Echo.
Yeah, and not only that, right? But if we're taking a look at the team head-to-head here, I mean, there's a lot to be said just about both teams, the way that they play, their styles, but even the stats speak for themselves, Renmar.
Yeah, when it comes to the pushing for Echo, that's a lot. That's due to a lot of the efforts of Sanford. Sanford has done a tremendous job this season of just opening up the map for Echo. This young man, when he plays heroes such as the Benedetta, anyone who can really just push out the side lanes by himself, he'll be able to do it. And a lot of what Echo can do is a testament to the efforts Sanford is putting on the map in terms of map control.
I'd like to point out that these stats overall that we've garnered for Echo takes into consideration Echo Proud. So
Yeah.
this doesn't say the whole story. So maybe, just maybe, we might see something new from Echo Loud, which is this first lineup they're fielding.
I'm wondering, like, is there a possibility that we could see them switch things up, you know, from game to game or throughout the series, where it's something that was kind of left up in the air, right? It's a big question. But to have further analysis of this, we're going to be throwing it over to the analyst stand. Take it away.
Thank you so much, casters. Now, we are on the upper bracket match between Echo and RSG. Of course, ayaw mo naman malaglag sa lower bracket agad-agad. Kaya ito naman ang kailangan gawin ng ating mga teams para manalo sa laban na to. Again, this is the bout of Echo and RSG. Now, for Echo, kailangan ay uminom ng Aqua si Yawi. Basically, kailangan nilang pigilan yung pagiging superstar player ni Aqua on the side of RSG. Kasi nakita naman natin kahapon yung performance niya talagang ibang-iba. Kapag nadadala niya yung momentum ng RSG, nadadala niya rin yung pacing ng kanyang mga kakampi, and in turn, nabibigyan ng malaking opportunity ang RSG in the mid-game to establish a lead and take control over the game, especially with Demon Kite at the helm. For Echo naman, ay for RSG naman, kailangan gawin na mapigilan ang San-San duo from making movements on the map. Importante at crucial to dahil again, kailangan nila protektahan si Aqua in the mid lane. So, kailangan din talagang magkaroon ng pagpigil ang RSG sa movements ng X-Planer at ng kanilang support dahil makakatulong din to sa pag-take over ng mid-game nila and pag-establish ng lead versus Echo. Now, for both sides, be the better king of the jungle. Kailangan magpatunayan na dito sa stage na to kung sino ba talaga ang mas magaling na jungler. Carl TZ has been more aggressive compared to Demon Kite, pero si Demon Kite ay nakasecure ng mas maraming objectives versus Carl TZ. And alam naman natin, objectives will win you the game. Yan ang kailangan gawin ng ating mga players. That has been my 90 seconds. Casters, back to you.
Thank you very much, Midnight. And there you go, keys to victory for the teams here. I gotta ask you, exactly what does it mean to drink more aqua for Yawi?
I'd like to take it as, well, he explained it, but I'd like to take it as just Yawi being able to do Yawi things in terms of setting up, but also being able to potentially get the information as to where Aqua is. I mean, there's a lot of layers to that key to victory. Of course, there's that old Yawi taunt of him drinking the water. If you watch Rap Battle Volume 3, you get a good shot of Yawi doing that.
Goes way back.
Goes way back, next play Evil Stays also. But yeah, Yawi just really needs to get the information as to where Aqua is. His positioning in the map for RSG is so crucial.
Yeah, real quick before we dive more into the game, of course, we want to just welcome you guys to the Samsung Awesome Value Prediction. Don't forget, it is going to be jumping on into the game. Once the game is started, you'll see it pop up there. Go ahead and join that as you get a chance to win awesome prizes. So this is one of them right here. It's actually the legendary box, right? So what is in this box? Well, number one, there's the A53 5G, and there's a second thing as well. Boom.
So that just went into my.
They did make some changes here and there, but this is the prime, if you will. Like, people like to call this prime RSG.
Of course.
And they've all also, majority of them, have gone in the spirit and dyed their hairs.
Yeah, no, it's part of their. That's when they're in right now.
Well, right now we're jumping into the draft. You can already see the first bands coming out.
Has something prepared for that. Encounter the Fanny right away. No. Yeah.
I'm wondering too if they also
I'm not picking up the roamer.
give the Melissa a chance. Game one's obviously the time to do it, see if it works out for them. They do
Drafted all the.
Echo, because honestly, both teams do it really well, and there's a reason also why Echo is the Echo Express, and they built that name up for them. Even with this lineup, they could very well still do that. They have the tools they need, and like you mentioned, it's very heavy damage loaded for RSG Philippines. But with that Grok last pick there, it will allow them to find its setups and probably pay attention, especially to Benny Cutie in that gold lane. But here we go. We are getting ready to load up into the Land of Dawn. Game number one here. First series of day two. Echo versus RSG Philippines.
It's a mirror start here with a purple for Demon Kite and Carl TZ going for the orange.
Hell-curted.
I'm curious how this first Little Wanderer matchup is going to go.
Right now, both teams are just going to start things off slow. Just really go get their own buffs here.
Hellcurt.
No Hellcurt was picked. But you hear the fans already chatting for their teams. You can see the fans. Take a quick look at them. Game is still running and going, folks.
There it is.
There we go. Just a bit of a dramatic mood lighting, I guess.
Extended Hellcurt. Didn't know he was in the game.
The delayed gratification is what's happening.
Yeah. So in terms of the starts, nothing too crazy happened just yet. No invades. Both junglers level in terms of their, well, levels and their progress with the map. But right now you see a heavy topside rotation for Echo. There is going to be an invade by Carl TZ onto the lizard there. The scaled dragon, if I'm not mistaken, of RSG. The RSG have the info.
Yep, this is what we can expect from Echo, at least for the first half of the game. If they do it right, they're going to keep doing it all the way till the end.
Oh my goodness.
But the first blood drawn on Yawi. Atlas is chunky, but not this early.
Excuse me?
Didn't even notice he burned the flicker during that whole shebang in the early game. Yeah.
I mean,
get away from it.
You know, okay.
I didn't notice.
I didn't expect that already, right? So remember when I was mentioning pace setting? That's pretty much what I was talking about, right? Either team could have done that. Demon Kite, though, already grabbing that early kill. That's going to be crucial for them. Now the first turtle of the game comes up. There's some focus here on Aqua, though.
Oh, no! Sanford! Shades of Nats. He's the one who pulls it off. Now there's a pull. Shadow Stampede onto the very, very sturdy Uranus. Now Turtle at about a fifth of its health. Carlteasy going to secure it very handily. That's a huge objective going over to Echo.
So RSG decide to not go for the Turtle, knowing that they're up against an Akai who was able to hit level 4 comfortably. Instead, Demon Kite went for the purple buff of Carlteasy. At the same time, Carlteasy went for the purple buff of Demon Kite. They might see each other head-to-head in the orange buff area. But right now, Echo, let's see what happens.
Betty goes up with the go away. He survives Yowie with the Fatal Links to protect his gold laner. Here comes Aqua in light. They're not done. Wild charge underneath the gold lane tier turret. And there's a called altar. Benny survives. Eman might just get punished here. Light gets popped underneath. A little too deep, too early. Heavy spin by Carlteasy. Oh, we're off to a slobber knocker already. 3 minutes in. Oh, they're not done. Demon Kite going in. There's not enough speed, not enough velocity for this Benny. You can see he wants to go body. And there's nowhere Carlteasy's gonna go. Demon Kite gets the kill.
I mean, Akai's a pretty mobile panda. For a big panda, yeah, he's mobile, but not as mobile as a Fanny with the cables going around. The commitment by Demon Kite to go after that. He does have the bounty hunter, high and dry rather, on him, and a bloody retribution actually for a Fanny.
Man, and just like that, right? Things are already off to a crazy start here for both teams. Talk about the layering, too, that we saw on the top side when it was so hard for RSG Philippines to actually convert that into a kill for Benny Cutie. So right now, both teams at the top of their game. Things are going to just slow down a little bit, I feel like, until that next turtle comes up. Unless, again, something happens. The situation is pressed by either team, because right now, that's a big early pickup already for Demon Kite.
Oh, man. Have disease already, so that the backline of Echo really needs to watch out for here. And the good thing about that is, yeah, he can use that to get the kill and clean up, but he can also use that to just go straight up, look for Sanji, force out the cult altar early, or just go after Benny Cutie, force him to go back.
Oh, but look at this. Echo is setting up, but RSG foot's on the other foot, actually, because they're actually spacing them out inside their own jungle. Nats is being such a nuisance. Look at this. He's isolating 4, 5 members, pushing them away. Benny Cutie very far off, very low. Nats as well. There's a Fatal Links. And overhead pop. Down goes Demon Kite. Sanji's still alive. Gets stunned up. His extra life bar's already spent. And here comes Eman. He wants to get Carlteasy. Can he get him? It's gonna happen. Nats with the consecration and the Ionic Edge. Sanford falls as well. It's mayhem here inside of Echo's purple side jungle. And they're not done. Nats is still alive throughout this whole debacle.
Get away.
Run, Nats, run! And he does. That's a second round of consecration.
Look at that. Look at that light construct go, but here's Demon Kite.
Sanji! They're still going. He's still alive. And I believe the action has to take a break here. Both teams, they should not force it, but Light, he's still thinking. Sanji out of bounds. Oh, wow. They're still going. Round 2.
All right, Turtle. Looks like there's going to be even more action here.
Wait.
Yeah, Demon Kite's going to go and grab the buff. I don't think he's going to even just worry about this turtle.
No. Carlteasy's got this.
Gives it up. And, you know, just like that, I mean, fight after fight, skirmish after skirmish. It was such a good setup earlier, too, by Carlteasy, finding the mark, but still things kind of flip-flopped around, but now the top side.
Yeah, no, throughout the whole debacle, yes, Nats is going to get this tier 1 up top. Gonna get punished hard by Benny Cutie and Yowie, but at what cost? They spent too much. RSG still 1,000 ahead.
Yeah, that was a kill onto the XP laner, but in terms of target priorities, that's Nats coming out with a big W, because now that those are the outer turrets for both side lanes gone already for Echo. RSG, we were making a big case about Echo controlling the map through Sanford movements, but RSG have been controlling the map well, but it seems like Echo are going to be able to get one for themselves up top, getting one back.
Yo, that's a trade I'll take any day.
Yeah.
A turtle for outer lane turrets? Yeah, Benny Cutie got one here, but it's a little too delayed. They're catching up one step behind.
Yeah, and like I said, too, you know, with Benny Cutie playing the Melissa, the most success we see there is when you can get these early kills and it allows you to scale up really well. You are also very protected for Benny Cutie here on this Melissa, but on the bottom side.
Demon Kite.
Sanford It's so hard to be Esmeralda in this game. You're usually very chunky, and you're usually... It's up to you, but wait! He gets Fatal Links with 1. That's very low. And look at the damage the Evan is putting down on forcing an early Cult Alter.
Very early.
Stuns on 3. Carteezy very low. Gets stunned as well. Underneath is alternative. Aqua pops 2. Benny and Yaoi go. And Demon Kite gets spotted hard by Sanji. There's a kill by Carteezy on the Nats. 2 for 2.
Okay, Echo and RSG, lights out and away we go. It's only the first game of this second day of the playoffs, but look what they're doing already. And what we're seeing here is both teams having great lineups for extended team fights. If Echo go in and start, RSG have the right tools to fight even longer. But Echo, what they need to do is just fix their execution up a bit, and then they can fight even longer, even though they forced out their Cult Alter. What Demon Kite needs to do now is be careful though, not get punished.
That's a Fatal Links onto Emma, and he doesn't survive. Sanford puts a nail in the coffin. 100% turtle take rate for Echo right now. I can swear Blue Leaf scream and fight forever.
Oh man, the claps, the screams are all here. They're still going.
They're not done. Light gets caught out here, and there's a falling star moon. Sanford is out for blood.
Echo
Man.
sticking together, finding the target, setting things up. This is what Atlas has been known for throughout the regular season. Even if it's just one target, an Atlas will commit that ultimate to get that secure kill and get an advantage in the map.
So the tables have turned. Right now, the gold lead, as minor as it is, it's only 1K. It goes in favor of Echo. But just taking a look at the items here, Renmar, how are things going for Echo now?
Echo, very close. They have the items that they need. I want to see them build a little bit more magic damage, though, magic defense, because of Lilia.
Again, they are out on a mission. The hit has been put onto Eman, and Benny Cutie gets another. Dear Lord. And they don't mind, because as soon as they get their man, they're okay to walk away. And again, yes, Echo has a small lead. It's 1,000, but this is the first 1,000. It's a significant 1,000 in the mid-game. Yaoi Vero gonna have to go back. Carteezy forcing the issue. Guardian's Barrier trapping this Panda. Akai and Carteezy very, very perilous.
Nats?
Look at Nats. Gonna go in front of Benny and Sanji. Can they get a punish? No ults on Echo quite yet. They're greenless. They have to reset.
Oh, man.
This is crazy. Like, at this point, I mean, just under the 10-minute mark, you can see that Demon Kite doesn't actually have that damage he needs when everybody for Echo is clumped up. And they are starting to scale really well in terms of tankiness, that beefiness, and it's getting even harder for RSG Philippines to find targets, and also the constant thing they have to worry about, not only, like you guys mentioned, the CC coming out from all these tanks, Fatal Links, Heavy Spin, whichever, but also the fact that you have to work around the Cult Alter too.
Yeah, and since we are at the point of the game where teams will really be sticking together, Sanford is doing a great job of tempering the pushes that Nat is supplying and pressuring in the side lanes. They're down in the bottom, while Echo are just going around as 4, getting targets, finding Eman. And yes, you mentioned it very nice too, because Echo are mostly sticking together, Demon Kite cannot maximize the damage he can do. He's doing a lot, but it's not being maximized to its full potential.
Hey, it's not just Demon Kite who's struggling. Even Eman, the Blazing Duet is hitting critical mass, and there's only so much you can do. Even with the Cult Alter, it's supposed to be a solution. It's supposed to answer that very annoying ult on the Faramis of Sanji, but it's not working out so well. Look at this Lord. It's at about a 6th of its health, an 8th, very low. Who's gonna get it? Fatal Links popped in. Cult Alter as well. Carteezy secures it. Eman Blazing Duet's on out of here. Bounce knuckle man, as he says. Nats on out as well. And RSG have been pushed back. Echo with a dominant lead in this 11-minute game, almost 3K.
You actually saw Demon Kite try to cable out and then cable back in, just using momentum to potentially steal that Lord away. But because Carteezy was spinning, it just got enough of a push onto Demon Kite that he wasn't able to get within Retribution range. See, it's not on cooldown right now.
Oh, Yaoi.
He's looking for one. Echo, yes, they are very ult-reliant, but they're just keeping going. They're giving RSG just all the doubt in the world. Do they have it? Can they do it?
Right now, they're trying to fight for the purple buff.
And who got it? Did Demon Kite get it? Yes, he did. I'm on out of here. I can't do this, but there's a Lord marching up top. There's a wave down bottom, and all of Echo are in mid. It's a hard time to be RSG.
Just like I said, both teams can set the momentum. Echo Express is online here, 4K gold ahead. That's going to be a Lord up top. Should be worked on, but they have to find something for RSG.
TR2 is going to go down here in bot lane, best believe. And they took an orange. Who did go to? Who took it? Did Benny take it?
He took it. Orange buff is on him, so no orange buff right now for RSG. And because, again, of the formation of Echo, how they've controlled this map, we're starting to see all the things we pointed out here in the draft. Sasford's Esmeralda doesn't have a lot of things to worry about right now because RGPH don't have the damage just yet to deal with it. Meanwhile, the Uranus of Nats is struggling. Even though he can get easy backline access, there's not much he can do against Echo other than just being a nuisance to them.
Man, let me just remind you of the key to victory, the Sansan duo, the combo. Look at both of them. Sanji 2-0-6 on this fair miss. Sanford that 4-1 doing work. Again, it's so hard for RSG Philippines to actually penetrate the front line. And then you have the back line to worry about.
Speaking of penetrate, look at the items on the Lilia. I'm waiting for a Divine Glaive. Once the Divine Glaive is up, that will be the game-changing item for the damage of Aqua. Once he gets that up, you're gonna start seeing the health bars of Echo going down faster and faster. But without it, RSG will struggle in the engaged extended team fights rather. But there it is. Now he picked it up. Let's see if RSG can make it work.
Slowly but surely, RSG clawing their way into a better position. Nats push the tier 2 down bottom, forcing Sanford to clean up. But we're about 20 seconds away from another Lord, and this is a Luminous Lord. It's gonna, at best, break down a tier 3 down bottom. That's dangerous, perilous. The map is shrinking.
Not only that, but this is going to be crucial because we just saw Benny Cutie also pick up another big item on this Melissa, DHS. So yeah, you were just pointing it out, Redmar. You know, these item spikes are going to be crucial for both teams, but more so for RSG Philippines. They need to be able to either steal this objective away or at least win this team fight. As you can see, everybody crowding around this next Lord here, everybody getting in position, clearing the lanes the best they can, and just getting ready for this fight.
Way too risky for RSG to try and commit, but if they can pull this off, it's gonna be an amazing play.
Very, very low. A quick Lord take here. Shadow Stampede setup. Look at Nats and Light looking for an angle. Demon Kite very quiet. Oh, like I see in the night, he's trying to go for it. Yowie very low, gets popped here by Light. Who's gonna take this Lord? Demon Kite steals it. All the waiting in the world has paid off. And Eman in the back line trying to pop one on Sanji. That's 2 down on the side of RSG. Making 2 for Echo as well. Benny Cutie bites it. Carl Deasy running for his life. Sanji trying to protect his jungler. And the shield put up. Carl Deasy survives. And Sanford and Nats go in mano a mano in the jungle with Nats actually losing out. They're gonna have to retreat.
It was ridiculous that RSG somehow was able to take that Lord away from Echo. It was risky. It was difficult, but they got away with it. Again, going back to Aqua now having the damage that he needs to be more impactful as a Lilia. And of course, the tremendous positioning of Demon Kite to wait in the shrubs as long as he did to just show up at the right moment to help that kill on Yowie and to get that Lord away from Echo.
And right now, Lord marching down the bottom side here. Echo's going to have to deal with that. They're going to lose some turrets, a little bit of space around the map. And as you saw, Eman also able to just whittle down even these tanky boys for Echo. So that's something they got to be really critical of here. They're going to handle the Lord fine, but like I said, they lose that turret in the mid side. We'll see if RSG Philippines can grab any more, but right now, Echo still holding on to a minor lead.
That's what the DHS bought for them, and I guess that's why Eman stings a little bit more now, and Echo has to be wary. They have to protect their back line and their front lines. It's not as easy to find angles anymore. Now, the map has evened out. Dare I say, maybe even RSG is winning because of how mobile they are. Nats can go anywhere he wants. Demon Kite can wait in a bush and do anything he wants, even Eman. So I guess that's why it's so close this time around. It's another back and forth swing.
Echo really need to watch out the spacing of the map that RSG can provide for themselves. If they're not careful, they're going to end up losing a base turret. Probably not get split pushed, but losing a base turret at this point in the game, it's going to be massive if that happens to either squad. Benny Cutie earlier picked up the Haas Claws with the DHS. It's going to be an insane amount of regen that this Melissa can get, which makes RSG's team fighting execution, it has to be even cleaner and more disciplined, because if they blow too many of their abilities and Benny Cutie just comes in very late to a team fight, Echo can turn that around, even though if it's just Benny Cutie and one more member of Echo.
Man, right now, too, the other thing that you have to consider is how many options Echo has to start fights, right? Yes, you have the Fatal Links, you have the Heavy Spin, and again, even Sanji can start a fight. All those guys can peel, too. Whereas on RSG Philippines, you kind of have to rely on Light. And like you guys mentioned, you have that mobility factor, but still, if Light misses the wild charges, if he misplaces the Guardian barriers, it's almost tough to find your moments in those team fights.
Well, now that we're in a somber moment, I'd like to cover that. Maybe the engagements on Echo, maybe all of those options, especially seen in that last team fight, might actually mean too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's so hard to have so many options but no follow through. And maybe with RSG having one focus on Light, that might actually be a better focus, tunnel vision, and that's what bought them his comeback. That's just me saying what I see.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for Echo. It goes hand in hand with them having the most unique heroes picked this season, wherein they are a jack of all trades, but what are they masters of? Echo needs to show that here right now. What can you do with this lineup that has so many options for engagement? How are you going to take the definitive lead in this game back away from RCPH? Because right now it's even Stevens.
Yep, as it is, Sanford making quite a little bit of a dent in the map. Look at how deep he pushed that Nats with the answer back. Yawi, Fatal Links on this lone Uranus. Benny Cutie, can he get the kill? The answer is yes, popping the immortality, but here comes Demon Kite to the rescue, but it's a little too late. The young Nathaniel Astrologo goes down. Cold popped up, and they answer back with Demon Kite's reinforcement. Sanji very low. Carl Tizzy unable to find an angle, could have been deadly, disastrous for RSG, but a pickoff's a pickoff.
Look at the discipline Echo pulled off there with when they used their ultimates. Sanji didn't use that Cult Altar with that take for Nats. They waited until to see if Demon Kite would be coming in. Sanford had great positioning, saw Demon Kite. Sanji had the Cult Altar, and Benny Cutie saved his go-away ultimate for last. That's how he was able to get away.
And now the thing is, do they actually want to contest this or just let it go? They know the Cult Altar isn't available just yet, could pop up here in a few seconds, but still focusing as much as they can. Lord still for the take.
Demon Kite Retribution's already.
Watch out. Can he get it one more time? No! Carl Tizzy's blade. Nay, that's a baseball bat. Ever so sharp, taking this third Lord. And they're getting the hell out of Dodge. We're happy with our major objective.
Sanford again, the pressure he applied onto the purple buff when Demon Kite was taking it. It forced Demon Kite to use the Retribution already. Hence why Echo got that Lord without a problem.
Great call there. Again, the Sansan duo doing work here in this game one for Echo. As we take a look at the items here, things are pretty much well bit. It's just going to be a swap between items if they choose to. Yeah. But right now, I mean, you're looking at maybe a couple last items that need to be locked in, but now it's RSG Philippines here with the backs against the wall that have to defend against this Marching Lord.
All the key players here have the items that they need. We're just waiting for Light to build up his blade armor. It seems like that's going to be his last item because look, there's already a blade armor on the side of Echo. Two of them actually. One for Carl Tizzy, one for Sanford. Hence why Eman's a little bit more careful with his targeting. Top side, Demon Kite split pushing. Echo pushing in, it through the mid and the Lord through the bot.
Something's gonna give here. The Lord just charges into that inhibitor down bottom. All members of RSG are needed here. The Fanny, Demon Kite makes his way back home. RSG and Nats making a little bit of space, opening it up down bottom. Yawi looks for one. Gets the Fatal Links onto Nats. Altar already popped. Demon Kite taken down by the storm. Fanny gets it. Immortality's popped here. The Atlas gets taken down. Aqua takes down Yawi. Nats goes down as well. And there's a clutch. Heavy spin by Carl Tizzy. Popping the Immortality. Evan goes down. It's just Light and Aqua here left in the base to defend. Another inhibitor bites it.
Man, what a fight that was, and now this could be it for Echo if they can punch it in.
Aqua going for the black shoots. Carl Tizzy still here. He has an Immortality. Light very low. Sanji goes down. Immortality's up and down as well. Too much of an ask to defend this. Can they do it? Benny Cutie's still here. Ladies and gentlemen, Echo loud, Echo proud. They're going to go ahead and finish the game. Not unless they can say something about it. Nay. Echo takes game one.
We set it up. If RSG aren't careful, if they can't get that Melissa down, the Melissa will be able to punish. And that's exactly what we saw in the last sequence. Great usage of ultimates and abilities on the side of Echo is what helped them secure that game number one.
Man, what a fight between these two teams that was. And again, it was only game number 1 right there. And what a statement for both teams. I mean, just the back and forth, but still, Benny Cutie able to really shine on that Melissa pick because all the bases were checked. He was very safe, and just how valuable that ultimate is, the go away. I mean, every time Demon Kite tried to find him, tried to initiate, he just couldn't get past that barrier.
Not just, he actually throws off a team that
Ito is yung fast initiation para may pambigla sila against RSG. And nakita natin yan into full effect nung mid-game na every single time na may makikitang opening ng Echo, nandun kagad si Yaoi with the flicker, with the concealed place para mahuli yung mga targets sa side ng RSG. Also want to point out dito yung naging adjustment ni Demon Kite. Kasi if you think about how the draft of RSG Philippines works against Echo, you need a frontliner para naman may makaharap kay Atlas. Kasi the thing about Atlas is kailangan may humaharap talaga sa kanya para hindi siya basta-basta nakaka-vision. Grok sometimes suffices, pero the thing is, even yung Grok hindi ligtas sa harap ng Echo kasi nandyan din yung mga potential setups coming out from the Sansan duo and of course, Carl TZ. So si Demon Kite medyo napuwersa siya ritong baguhin yung kanyang item builds, no? Imbis na nakikita natin yung usual, typical burst Fanny or kahit sabihin natin may burst Fanny, meron lang anti-crash, napuwersa siyang bumili ng ibang item dito and nag-iiba yung ruta na paglaro niya ng Fanny. Actually, at some point, si Nats yung naging pinakamayaman sa side ng RSG kasi hindi basta-basta makalabas si Demon Kite. Lalo pat pinapakita ni Yaoi yung kanyang commitment to use his flicker to catch potentially the Fanny of RSG Philippines. He bought the Heptasis first and then went to the Bloodlust Act, something na hindi na natin usually nakikita. Actually, even other countries have touched upon this Fanny na hindi na binibilhan ng sustain items kasi medyo kinakapos na nga rin talaga pagdating sa energy usage. Pero again, walang choice. Kumbaga, sabi nga ni Manjin Faldas, walang no choice si Demon Kite kundi gawin to dahil wala masyadong frontliner for the side of RSG na kayang humarap sa side ng Echo. Now, looking at the game stats here, we have Sanji. I would want to say na naging maganda yung performance ni Sanji rito with the promise, even though in theory and on paper, kayang-kaya ng RSG Philippines labanan yung promise ng Echo. They have good enough heroes to deal with the Cult Altar. Pwede mag-contest ng basta-basta sa objectives ang RSG. And even during the times na lamang ang RSG, si Echo pa rin yung nakakakuha ng objectives. And again, this is because of Carl TZ's presence in this game. Kills don't matter, what wins you the game is objectives. And he got almost every single one of them. Isa lang yung nakuha ni Demon Kite and that was the second Lord. Pero other than that, it was Carl TZ who was getting everything away from RSG. Kapag tinanggal mo na yung objectives and sinama mo pa ng team fight aspect from the Paramis and Atlas, suddenly you find Echo on a winning foothold talaga. Hindi basta-basta masisira yung formation at yung team fight ng Echo, lalo pat sabihin na natin may mga answers din sila against the Fanny. Number 1, yung Akai, kapag nilapitan mo at dumigit ka sa pader, pwede kanyang ikutan, kalma mo, baka tamaan ako ng stick. So pwede kanyang ikutan lang at iipit din sa pader. And even, actually yung kakampi ni Carl TZ at one point naharangan din ng Guardians Barrier sa Fanny. So medyo mahirap din talaga labanan ng Echo at that point in time. Pero the main story of this game is Carl TZ continuously getting the retribution versus Demon Kite. And ang ironic lang kasi, si Demon Kite naka high and dry, naka assassin emblem, and Carl TZ is now using the jungle emblem. Attack speed din yung pinaboran niya rito. Ngayon, makikita natin yung movements sa mapa ni Carl TZ. Started with the orange buff and immediately went for the purple buff. And interesting dito guys, hindi siya nag-contest ng Litho Wanderer. This is because kulang din sila sa lakas against RSG. And also baka naging late na rin yung pagkuha nila noon. Lalo pat, magugulo lang sila nung Lilia sa side ng RSG. Medyo mahirap din kasi labanan yung Lilia sa early game. Lalo pat pag nag-level 2 na, ang taas ng damage output niya during the early game. So naging choice dito ng Echo is, kalma lang natin, let's take the objectives, let's take the farm, let's take the resources. Kapag umabot na tayo sa point na kaya na nating lumaban, or kapag lumabas na yung mga power spike natin, that's the time we fight. Kung makikita nyo rito, nag-focus talaga siya sa pag-take ng resources, went for the turtles, didn't really commit for any unnecessary fight, kasi alam niya yung first 5 minutes for Echo, sobrang importante. Ito yung mga disiplina na hindi natin usually nakikita kapag Claude ang kalaban mo, kasi yung iba nagiinit na parang, oh, late game yan, kailangan lamang na lamang tayo sa early game. Pero the thing is, Echo has specific timings in this lineup. Yung comp nila gumagana pag nakuha na nila yung mga kailangan ng resources or kapag enough na yung kanilang hawak na golden XP for them to actually fight into RSG. Kasi the thing is, there's still a Fanny. Kapag nag-snowball yung Fanny, mas delikado tayo sa mid-game kasi yung damage output niya ay tataas. So let's not give any avenue to RSG na mag-snowball sila. Let's control the game and lumaban tayo sa mid-game kasi alam naman natin, kayang-kaya natin yan. Lalo pat may pansagot din naman sila sa damage ng Blazing Duet na in theory dapat counter. Kasi Blazing Duet will just deplete all the HPs from the Cult Altar. Pero alam kasi nila na even after the Cult Altar, meron pa silang pambawi. Nandiyan pa yung setup from the Atlas, nandiyan pa yung go away mula kay Melissa. And by the way, gusto ko lang sabihin ng ganda na pagkakagamit ng tatlong ultimates ito. No? The go away from Benny QT, ginagamit niya minsan pang crowd control. Specifically against the Fanny, napakahirap gankin ng isang Melissa, lalo na kapag nag-level 4 ka na. And based from my experience, talagang ikaw pa yung kawawa dyan. Kasi kapag mali ka ng cable at tinama ka ng go away, ay talagang hindi lang go away yung mangyayari sa'yo, go home pa kasi sa base na yung next mong respawn. And also, yung mga fatal links ni Yawi, it was always on point. Lagi nasa tamang target. Minsan, yung Uranus sinuultihan niya. Pero may isip din natin, medyo worth it eh. Kasi again, yung Uranus na lang, yung naiiwang frontliner for RSG Philippines. If you remove that from the equation, suddenly Eman and Demon Kite will have to find awkward angles to look for initiation against Echo, and that's what happened on the last team fight. Medyo naging awkward na yung engagement for RSG, and Echo just found the right opening for them to finish and end the game. Very interesting game number 1. Echo really was putting their energy into taking these keys to victory, and naging successful nga sila doon, kaya sila naman ang nanalo ng game number 1. Tingnan natin kung makakabawi ba ang fundamentals or will the House of Pilots still prevail. Casters, back to you.
Thank you very much, Midnight, for the breakdown of Game 1 there. And again, I'm Naisu here with Lee.
The usages of the ultimate, the timings of the ultimates for Echo, their multiple abilities for displacement and disruption that threw off RSG, that even though RSG had the right tools for fighting in the team fights, the advantage in terms of control abilities that Echo had just became a little bit too overwhelming for the defending champs.
And, you know, looking at the headline here, and is the Carl TZ conquers his demon, right? And it's kind of funny if you think about it because it was, I mean, they both love to play assassins, right?
Yeah.
But it was Carl, and they both love Fanny, but Carl TZ versus Demon Kite there, we built up that whole story before we jumped into game 1. He played the Kai.
Yes.
Versus Demon Kite on the Fanny, and to top it off, Carl TZ got MVP.
Yes. There's so many layers to Carl TZ conquering his demons here. And who'd have thought? I love this new version of Carl we saw because he wasn't hungry to get kills. His heavy spin was left out and kept for the right moments, for the right targets. And he was a role player. This is amazing growth coming from the young Carl Nepomuceno.
Yeah. Carl TZ has played multiple junglers, heroes this season, and looking back at what his best picks were, of course, the Julians there, the Fannies there, but then his second best performance in terms of jungler win rate, it's actually the Akai.
Yeah.
So it's not just something that we're seeing now, it's something that's been built throughout this entire season. And I remember earlier in the season there was an interview about with Carl TZ where he was asked by Mara about, we used to know you more for the junglers, the assassin types, those flashy players. Lancelot. But then Carl TZ himself admitted, well, I had to adjust. I had to grow. And the growth that he's shown throughout the season, and now in that game 1 against RSG, undeniable.
Well, that's why I mean, I think we even talked about this in the regular season, saying that, you know, Season 9 forced a lot of these junglers who were so used on just, you know, picking those assassins, forced them for growth, right? And some grew, some maybe not as much. But at the same time, when it was dominated by that tank jungling emblem and the picks, right? A lot of Baksha and other tanks being picked in the jungle, it did force them to try to adapt. And Carl TZ was one of them. So was Demon Kite, though. That's why I'm wondering. So was Demon Kite. That's why I'm wondering how this pans out for Game 2's draft.
Joseph, you know the saying, right? If you can't beat them, join them. I'm expecting Demon Kite here to make the adjustment and maybe, just maybe, not force out the Fanny. If it's not up for the opening, don't force it. Like, I'm foreseeing maybe even first phase, second pick, or maybe even if it's open, second phase overall. Like that's where the
Yeah.
Fanny might show up, especially if Echo is looking to play the same way. There's a lot of heat check-in that Coach G and Coach Panda have to do here.
Yeah, if that was a heat check game in terms of some of the ideologies behind that draft, then RSG, I feel like they are a team that is willing to give away the Fanny because they've shown in the past just how well they can counter a great Fanny player.
Well, before we dive more into that, the gaming buddy cams brought to us by McDelivery here. Go ahead and do a gesture if you're watching with us in the crowd, and hopefully you get to win and be picked. There's still, I mean, there's also plenty of other giveaways here, but a lot of Borgers out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Borgers sharing fries, just feeding each other Sundays. Dude, I'm hungry. It would be a good time to call for some McDelivery right now.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have access to that while casting.
Not right now.
Not right now.
But
Not
I'm
while
fine.
casting.
I'm okay. I am very much happy with the games we're watching. And if game 2, 3, 4, and I'm hoping 5 is the same caliber, then by all means, the McDelivery can wait.
It's kind of funny because, you know, you say games plural, because game 1 does feel like you just saw multiple
Right?
games.
Yeah.
Like, there was so
It
much
was-
action in that one.
Okay, you know what? I might be speaking too soon, but it felt like a clinic in so many things you should do as an MLBB player. Like just
Across every lane.
I could have sworn Benny Cutie might have been the MVP, but no, it's Carl.
And
Right?
so many details you can go back to look at skill timings, positioning, the idea of when you're gonna push forward, when you're not. There's one play that I keep going back to. Remember when Demon Kite was split pushing the top lane
Yeah.
and Echo were threatening the base of RSG? RSG had a very clear look and chance to be able to stop Sanford from going home because it was Sanford and the Esmeralda who went back to defend. Part of me is thinking, what if somehow RSG just sort of risked it? Again, it would have been a risk if they tried to interrupt the recall of Sanford, which could have potentially led to a Demon Kai split push, but those are big what ifs and questions that are only just going to be left as questions. Let's see what the answer of RSG will be for game number 2.
Yeah, and I mean, it was so tough for them because they had that, I would think it was a third or fourth Lord at that point. They needed to be able to handle that. But now, with all that being said, we have game 2 upon us. We're looking at the draft here. RSG Philippines on the red, Echo on the blue. There's the bands. It's Atlas, Claude, Valentina taken out here. Faramis is still up for grabs. On the other side, RSG Philippines, Selena, 1-1, and Eve. There's the Faramis, as we just mentioned. What a game for, you know, game number 1 in the hands of Sanji.
Sanji. They're able to do it still here. Now, on the swing back, I'm not even sure if the Fanny should be here.
I'm feeling Paquito.
Yes,
Yes.
Paquito's open this time around. I'd rather the Paquito.
Yeah, with the Paquito, they can pick up the bomb and the Grok already so that they just won't give it already to Yaoi, but Yaoi will
moment,
have
bro.
the Cho as an option. So let's see if they're gonna pick the Roamer already. No, they go ahead, go for the swerve. They take the Melissa away from Echo.
It's a good counter to the
good choice.
Faramis. I mean, it's a soft counter.
Yes.
Not exactly going to get rid of the problem immediately, but already a good showing of recovery for RSG. Now, Echo, is the Akai open? Yes, it is. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, like he could just possibly go with the Akai again. Also, this leaves the question, right? What does Benny Cutie end up picking? Because the Claude, the Juan are taken out. The Melissa went over to RSG Philippines, so that'll be a question exactly what Benny Cutie wants to play here. Grok is going to be locked in for now, and we'll see what this next pick is going to be to round out that first phase of these picks for Echo and how they want to play around this. And it's going to be
It has to be an XP laner. I will be surprised if they pick up a marksman this early because they can leverage it.
No, yeah, it's actually very tight to be a marksman here. Like, especially in the face of a Melissa.
Yeah.
So there's so many choices here for this second pick for Echo.
Oh, the Julian.
Jungle Julian, JJ.
Jungle Julian.
Yep.
More likely, so
The
they're letting
JJ.
go of the Akai. Just
Yeah.
rather not.
Okay, Jungle Julian locked in there by Echo. RSG, what they're gonna pick up here. The bans for RSG, I wouldn't be surprised if they just hammer on again onto the marksman ban. Just continuously take those away. With those gone, then Echo would have a hard time in terms of drafting the marksman. You see there Lilia just trying to decide whether or not she will.
Is she picked or not?
Yeah, whether she wants to be drafted.
Spamming that black shoes.
Yeah, it's like, no, yes, maybe not, okay, but it looks like Lilia said, all right, you can take me and pick me up. So it seems like RSG are going around the same route that Omega used when they went up against Blacklist, where when they
Yeah.
were up against a Faramis, the Lilia was the crucial pick that they used there. So with the Paquito on the board here, I am not completely denying the idea that this is still going to be a flex pick, because this could still go into the XP lane potentially for Nats, while they go for a different jungler, something that can add more to the problems of a Faramis. Similar to what Omega did before, Lilia plus a Bahamon together was problematic for Faramis players.
Bahamon's solid. I'm actually maybe looking forward to a European Esmeralda again.
European
Because
Esmeralda.
again, you pick it up and then you ban the Dairoth, force your opponent to make the call. If they don't, you get the Esmeralda. That might be what's happening here.
Well, at least even though you guys are at home seeing us here on the screen, we can see behind us, right? Those next bans were, it looks like the Irithyll and the Beatrix.
Oh, wow. Sherlock Holmes just using
Discovery.
clues. Yeah.
Using clues.
Yeah, and Echo banned the Karina, actually.
The Karina and the Esmeralda. So those were the final bans.
Oh, straight up. So it's not even. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so Dairoth's still out there, is he?
Yeah. The Dairoth is still up if they're going to go Paquito jungle. But then at the same time, thank you for allowing us to see the draft in such a unique perspective.
See, I told
love
you
it.
it's so hard to be a marksman right now.
Yeah, they take it out.
Left.
I'm thinking though Fredrin is still going to be available for Echo if they have that. And Fredrin meshes very well again with the philosophy of drafting against RSG with just layering multiple options for crowd control.
You're so sustainable.
Fredrin, Julian, Grok, so Faramis even, so much crowd control that once again, we might see RSG have to pull off a very sweaty game just to be able to get through all of those crowd control
Redmar is
abilities.
so sustainable. Like, you can pick up Fredrin and then Layla. You could just put in any marksman in that spot and then just, y'all just peel. I'm fine.
I mean, I don't know if Layla would pop out or not, but maybe it. Who knows, right? There's still some options too. I mean, we did see even, I believe it was the last game, we saw a Brody ban. You know,
Leslie yesterday.
And Leslie popped up yesterday. Oh, it's a Phoveus that comes out here.
Good.
I was wondering if we're gonna see also something that is not a marksman.
Don't say it. 1-3-1. No.
Do we?
Is this a gold lane Phoveus on Benny?
That's what I'm thinking.
It could work.
Okay,
no, it's a Bruno.
It's a Bruno. I was thinking it was in the realm of possibility.
Bruno cutie though.
Bruno cutie. You can say that.
All right. The fantasy is cool, but this is better. Like reality right here.
For RSG here, okay, I want to see a Paquito in the jungle instead, but then he'll have to deal with the Phoveus. Just has to be careful because a Yuzhong would look good for RSG in terms of just being able to access the Bruno. The problem is, if you're going to play a Yuzhong here, if you're RSG, you might lack peeling for your backline. So they go ahead and play safe and they play for sustain on the Uranus, which will experience problems though against the Bruno, but Bruno only. This might be a slightly friendlier game for the Uranus of Nats, but the thing is, do they have the right tools to just layer crowd control themselves? Because right now there's still a lot of crowd control on the side of Echo. Meanwhile, RSG, they're just gonna have to brute force it with fantastic discipline and execution, which they have shown in the past.
Dude, Nats wasn't friendly last game, so I'm guessing he's just gonna ride that wave.
Yeah.
I mean, not only that, but to be honest, they handled that Uranus pick just last game pretty well, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that is going to be an obstacle for Nats to overcome for this game, because the same thing could possibly happen here. And we do know exactly, even though Bruno doesn't get much competitive play, when he is locked in and it does get that early lead, the damage is there, right? And it is a big threat. Not only that, but just overall, both drafts actually looking pretty good here as we get ready to load up into game number 2, jumping into the land of Dawn. Again, Echo versus RSG Philippines.
In before, the way Echo drafted this lineup, they're also setting up for plan B. This is a very, very backdoor friendly lineup.
Yeah.
Look at it. The 4 dudes can actually fight while Benny Cutie goes up and commits shenanigans. It's possible.
Shenanigans might be the name of the game here. With lineups with multiple options of shenanigans, we might just see a lot of crazy things happen. Carl TZ, let's see if he's gonna go for the full damage build Julian or the hybrid Julian, which does pop up from time to time, where you'll build a sustain item first and then go for a damage item next.
Yeah, there's the awesome value prediction. Ladies and gentlemen, you only have a couple seconds left. Don't forget the hashtags as well. Who's going to get more kills, Carl TZ or Demon Kite? Let us know in the chat below. And again, going just in the first couple minutes of this game, there's probably shouldn't be any early kills, but you can already see Yawi just kind of babysitting Benny Cutie here for now, right? Wants to give him as much of that safe start as possible, because when that first turtle does come up in about 40 seconds, that's where things are going to be crucial for both teams to start on the right foot. Either Echo or RSG Philippines, if they get that early kill and even objective, they can really play around for that. Now, the thing, too, is Nats being on this Uranus, it's a little bit harder to, I would say, your usefulness early on is push those lanes, cut those waves, kind of be a nuisance. Whereas when Sanford has this Phoveus, there's a lot more you can actually do in terms of those early skirmishes, those early team fights.
Yeah, and that's a Phoveus with a flame shot, by the way.
Yeah.
So RSG already have a good amount of dashes. Meanwhile, Sanford can even pop off another extra pork of his proc of his demonic force.
So let's see. We're waiting for him to hit level 4. Already used up that flame shot. Demon Kite posturing up. Sanji with the pull. Shadow Stampede putting Aqua in danger. Black Shoes already popped up. And there's the demonic force. Here comes Yawi. Called Alter popped up with a wild charge. Demon Kite down for the count. Ding ding. That's the first knockdown. The first kill of the game. Clear Lord positioning here for Echo. What's Light doing?
I actually surprised myself that Demon Kite decided to go in. That was incredibly risky. They had info that the Cult Altar wasn't used yet. The change was already there. Yawi was way too close to the wall. Might have been a little bit too aggressive there for Demon Kite.
Yeah, surprised as well, you know, just given the information. And now it's, I mean, the turtle hasn't been taken yet, but already small decisions like that are obviously going to show face throughout the entirety of this early game to the mid game. Also, with Sanford getting that early kill, he is having that mystery shop. He's going to be able to play around with that.
Nats here playing with fire. There's a flame shot. Not enough damage on the Julian just yet, but look at this. It's a clean 4v4, leaving the marksmen to their own devices. Yawi lets in half health, enhanced chains here. Oh, Benny goes and flickers forward, takes down the Melissa, and now back into the turtle fight, very low. A fourth of his health, demonic force in, Demon Kite secures it, a knock up, and now Sanford just pressing that button. It's time to slam if you wanna jam. And they discreetly let go.
Okay, RSG being able to get a win there. They got the turtle. Echo got another kill. Still even Stevens here. RSG are getting a little bit more cautious right now in terms of the things that they want to do in the map and exactly what they need to do.
This is just scary because, as I was just saying about Sanford, you see how much tanking he can even do just since early on, but then you give a kill to Benny Cutie as well in this matchup versus Melissa. And as we've been saying constantly since yesterday, Melissa, if she falls behind, it's very tough to find that footing. So Light also just waiting patiently here, Aqua making his way. They could possibly find a play, but Echo, they know what's going on.
They got plans, bro. They want to punish Benny Cutie. They gave him too much space in game 1. Now they're learning from that. But what's that mean for the rest of the map? There's been a lot of action up top, honestly. For the first 4 or 5 minutes of this game now, a lot of the kills, or at least the action, has been happening over there.
Yeah, and now Nats just looks like he was able to body Sanford in lane a little bit more aggressive with how he's dealing with the Phoveus in the EXP lane.
Deep.
Very deep cut, like he's not even on his side of the map. Just able to get a bit more gold there from the energy shield. So yeah, we're seeing it in lane, Nats is happy. In team fights, that's when the question and the situation changes for Uranus, and where a Phoveus would definitely be even more happier compared to that Uranus.
Again, I really like this interaction that we're going to be seeing throughout the game between Yawi on the Grok and then Sanford on the Phoveus, right? Either one of them can peel for the team. Any one of them can actually be that front line to tank a lot of the damage. And then again, you're layering it with a Cult Altar possibility here, right?
Oh, there's a Shadow Stampede forcing an early consecration. Now Nats is ultless, at least for this next engagement. Here we go. What's gonna happen? Sanford has both his ult and the flame shot. Nats deep in. Look at this, in this bush, forcing Sanji for the flicker. Demonic force by Sanford. Catches one. Sanji already down. No Cult Altar for this team fight. Demon Kite knocked out once more, and they're still going. It's a 3v3. Oh no! Carl Dizzy chased out by Aqua and Nats. Light at half health. Sanford and Yawi gonna try to collapse. Down on to Nats. There's an enhanced sword. And here comes Sanji. He's back. Look alight. Cold Alter popped in already, but not much spent here. Oh, that's just a scramble. Nothing much for both teams.
Oh no,
Sanford
Nasmart
still
actually
low.
prevents Sanford!
Called it too soon. RSG stayed while the rest of Echo left.
And again, the power of a Uranus and a Lilia together, extended team fights. They thrive in that. As long as they have their key abilities, they're happy with those situations. RSGPH get the tower in the XP lane, and it looks like it's a free Lord for the Raiders, a free turtle for the Raiders.
Not only all that, but yes, again, gold lead now in RSG Philippines' favor. They're grabbing this turtle, just like you mentioned. And all the while, I mean, this is also taking some attention off this gold lane. Emon playing a lot more, I would say, safely. As you can see, he's already, a lot of the times, taken down to half health here against Benny Cutie, but here in the mid lane,
That's a knock up onto Light. Wild charge. Everything but the kitchen sink thrown out. I'm offended, but Benny Cutie hits him with a ball right in the head. Knocked out. Light is going to go down 4-2, but still RSG sitting pretty at 1,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, it was a roamer they got. They committed a lot, but it will allow this movement in the bottom lane here. Yaoi to be able to help out Benny Cutie just a little bit more. Eman actually has had a relatively good time in lane despite losing that duel earlier to Benny Cutie. But Benny Cutie being able to rotate the map a little bit more, has 2 kills under his belt. Let's see what RSG Philippines will be able to do in this side of the jungle of Echo.
yeah, Benny Cutie's gonna hurt here. And again, running with this weapon mastery here, everything will start to pile up. You're gonna see that transition too, where Benny Cutie is gonna be that main focus of damage. Yaoi might be trying to find something here.
Oh, forced it.
Defensive wild charge.
Light though.
You hate to see it. Oh no, Demon Kite got his eyes on Sanford. Rather, Sanji. Sanford's all the way over there. They're gonna force this fight because here comes the Phobius. Light very low. They pop that tier 1 down bottom. Nats also bothering Kyle Teasy away from his purple buff. Was that a force retribution? Yes, it was, with a chains up, flame shot, demonic force. They're not gonna take down Nats. He throws up the RSG emote. He's proud of his
Demon
team.
Kite.
Another chains. Can he do it this time? Light here to the rescue. And a demonic force proc, but it's enough to save him. Kyle Teasy punished by Demon Kite, and they're still going behind tier 2. Here comes the cavalry. Eman and Aqua, it's a lot of damage. Sanford, no!
Man!
That is a DK for DK, a double for Demon Kite, and Echo. Now they're the one showing a little bit of over-aggression with that chase down.
My goodness, the amount of time Nath just bought there single-handedly to allow RSG Philippines to make a play out of it and could possibly just take this Lord.
Dude, what do we say to the god of death? Nats the day.
Nasty.
That's the day. Look how free this Lord is. And they're going to take Yaoi along as well. The demonic force ain't going to do nothing. Sanji goes too. But they do get a shutdown on the Demon Kite. Kautizi's still here. Not on my watch. Benny Cutie takes down Light as well. The shadows of their mistakes overextending and now biting them in the behind. They're going to push this lane. They're going to punish Eman. Down he goes. Benny Cutie. Goal! Goal! That's a double kill for the Baguio.
As I said, at one point in this game, those early 2 kills, this weapon mastery, Benny Cutie, the Storm, is going to come online, and here it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, Echo call themselves the House of Highlights, but RSGPH and Echo continue to put on a show. This is the match of highlights we're witnessing right now. Action after action. My goodness. Let's take a look at the items already. Berserker's Fury and an endless battle only, actually, for Benny Cutie's Bruno. That's how much that Bruno hurts. Only 2 items. On the Melissa, Windtalker, Demon Hunter Sword on the way to a Berserker's Fury himself is Eman. Now, even though RSGPH got the Lord, Echo committed the right play to go for the counter punish to minimize the impact of a potential Lord push.
And now from this, with all that here, with all that being said, more items going to have to be picked up here for RSG Philippines, especially in the defense department, to deal with this burst damage just coming out from Benny Cutie. They would also highly they would highly value a kill on Benny Cutie because he's sitting at 5-0, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
at this
Massive
point,
shutdown goal to get it.
it's something that RSG Philippines needs, and also the gold lead has been pretty much taken care of at this point.
Yeah, no, the 500, almost nothing. But still, the fact that RSG is pushing out, making the map red. Oh, no, they catch Eman! The poor young Eman goes down. Carlteasy gets him. Demonic Force pushing away the rest of RSG. Light here gets knocked up with the chains, and Sanford still going on. Slam dunking his way underneath here, 2 down bottom. Benny Cutie and Sanji gonna clean up the wave down bottom. Echo clapping back.
Wow, Yawi on the grok, rocking the dome of Eman. Yes, when you wild charge like that, even when the go away is up, you'll be able to get through it.
It's a tough situation here, too. As I said, you can see the interchanging between either Yawi or Sanford giving the go signal, and still, they're going to be focusing on the bottom side.
Oh, Shadow Stampede just missing Nats by an inch, but he did pop his consecration to get out of there. Look at this. Demon Kite making like Leon. Rather Chris punching that rock. Yawi's still alive. Here we go. Wild charge defensively used. Here comes Light. I'm offended, putting them right where they need them. And Demon Kite gets a DK once more. And Demon Kite gets away with it. Benny Cutie, he's still here. The one-man demolition team taking him down, serving up the double to Sanford.
That is now a double hat trick for Benny Cutie. 6 goals in this game.
My goodness, even with that impeccable placement and positioning from Light, able to set up RSG Philippines, they can't profit off of it. And now here it is, Echo in full control, going to be taking the Lord, and it's RSG Philippines once again on the defense in Game 2.
This is very reminiscent of Game 1, dare I say. A good rally back and forth. Swinging momentum here and there. It's not like RSG can't defend. They're actually picking very good fights. Light with that amazing I'm offended almost ruined Echo. But the fact is they missed out on Benny.
Yeah, that Bruno is what they need to get. It's what they need to lock down, shut down. With that Bruno gone, their chances of winning a team fight will get higher. RSG, but now a wind of nature is picked up by the marksman of Echo. It'll be up to Aqua and Nats to disrupt and bring down Benny Cutie as much as they can before Eman and Demon Kite can potentially clean it up.
Yeah, so they handle the Lord here in the mid lane. They do lose that tier 2 turret. They've lost pretty much all of them except that top one. They're trying to hold on to it the best they can. But still, like you guys mentioned, the answer is how do you get Benny Cutie? Here comes the conceal.
Oh, he hits it. The nail on the head, serving it up to Benny Cutie once more. And the Guardian's barrier keeping them away from going home. Aqua very low. Sanford gets his cult out their extra HP pop. Look at the damage on that. Even with the consecration. He hates those balls.
Nats right now feeling like the back of a net. Still able to survive through all that. The threat of Echo is here. Can they end this game here? What will they do in this push?
Oh, very good Highland defense, though, even with just the 3 of them here in mid. Eman, Aqua, and Nats, very good at keeping them away. That's one thing I guess you have as Nats is, yes, you can dive deep, but you can also put up a good barrier between Eman and Aqua and the rest of Echo.
Yeah, but I mean, Echo is just doing a great job at putting up a barrier to Benny Cutie. I mean, wherever he goes, it's either you have to deal with Yawi on the Grok or, I mean, even the Stampede pulling people away, displacing RSG Philippines. They're having a heck of a time to, again, getting to Benny Cutie. That is the main goal here for RSG Philippines. Nats doing work, trying to give the vision available to RSG Philippines, but right now it's such a tough matter ahead of them as now the purple buff is also going to be taken from their hands.
Yo, Kite is purpleless. It's Grand Theft Purple here in the House of Purple. Echo owns the map. Echo owns your buff. They're about 5K ahead. RSG, man, they gotta shut down Benny. I guess that's solution number 1. It's so easy to say, but it's so hard to do.
And again, Echo have drafted a lineup that will make Benny Cutie shine. Game number 1, their Melissa had everything she needed to shine. Now the Bruno has everything he needs to become an all-star in this game.
Everything
so
and
far,
more.
everything and more. When you have a Phoveus and a Julian with you and a Grok to peel and provide space, you are going to be one happy camper as a Bruno, just kicking that ball
Oh,
away.
look at that.
Look at the damage here on this Lord.
Fucking crits, 4 digits.
Demon Kite way too far.
They might just have to give this one up.
Yeah.
No,
Too fast,
Demon
too
Kite on the
furious.
top side. This could very well be a similar position where we were saying, what if in game 1 that they were able to allow Demon Kite to possibly push another lane, split push, get into the base. This could end up being that scenario. But right now, Echo, they're going to go ahead and manage these lanes, wait for the Lord to come up, and then march into the base.
The biggest problem right now for RSG, the lack of an anti-harass. No item that could potentially lower the damage being dealt out by this Bruno. They had to build other paths. They had to build Athena shields. They had to build magic defense, healing reduction because of the other tools that Echo have. Now at this point, very late into the game, will they have the right tools to potentially get that Bruno down? Can they survive the onslaught of the front line of Echo to potentially even get to the Bruno to finally shut that footballer down?
Well, here we go. We're going to find out. Lord on the top side, they're holding on to these base turrets. Who's going to give the go signal here?
There's a knock up on the Nats while Lord charges into that tier 3 up top. Already the base of RSGPH penetrated. It looks like they have their eyes on mid lane this time, unless Echo's thinking of a kill. Can they? There's a concealed play by Yawi, the lover boy, looking to get one. Benny Cutie smashing that inhibitor, making easy work of it. Eman, oh, there's a wild charge, displacing Demon Kite with a slam dunk competition. All already committed by Sanford. No more extra life on him. There's a knock up, giving space for Sanford to retreat. Echo happy with the 3 turns they took.
Again, the layers upon layers of crowd control and in game number 1 has translated into layers upon layers of dive. So much dive that RSG needs to deal with, that even though it looks like they'll find an opening to turn a team fight around, suddenly they have to disperse. They have to watch their positioning, space themselves out, put themselves further away from Echo, further away from being able to damage, because you've got a Phoveus just jumping all over your head.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the hardest thing here for RSG Philippines is juggling with all the layering that's happening and being thrown at them, right? I mean, you have to worry about demonic force, you have to worry about that wild charge, and meanwhile, while all this is going on, you're like, man, how do we get to Benny Cutie? And then when you actually get to him, the cult altar is popped, you have to disengage again. So constantly, RSG Philippines on the back foot here, and this, again, they're gonna kind of be forced to just play from their base and hope that they don't get set up by most likely Yawi. Once that conceal, that wild charge play comes out, it is going to be crucial for them to disengage from that and live through it and then start from there. The thing is, in 20 seconds, that next Lord is going to be up. Do they actually want to contest this one? Because if that one does get taken by Echo, it's going to be much harder to not let it be a game-winning Lord push.
The miserable situation that RSG is in, because yeah, they can win team fights, but they have to be inside the base. But also they're thinking, yo, we can't give him this Lord anymore. It's too much already. We're gonna lose all our turrets, and the next thing we know, Benny's kicking balls into our base. That's where RSG is right now.
Oh, they're going in. Demon Kite making his way too. Also, Benny Cutie has the immortality available now as well, so it's going to be even harder here. But they're fighting for space. They might just reset the Lord for now. Both teams know how crucial this could be, because honestly, if somehow RSG Philippines does take this Lord, it's even going to be a great push for them, despite everything that's happened in the past 5 minutes or so.
Oh, the confidence that RSG is showing, man. It's not like Echo has 6K ahead. It doesn't feel like it because of how they're forcing the issue here. But wait, Demon Kai's a little too far off. They can't contest this.
Yeah, they won't be able to. Demon Kai showed himself up top. Echo can just rush this Lord.
They know.
Sanford with a demonic force, and Benny, Cutie, and Carl, of course, just raining down the damage. But Aqua! What? There's shenanigans, skullduggery, manipulation, schemes afoot. How did he do that at the cost of life? I'll take that any day.
Aqua's popping. Aqua's locking. Aqua's stealing.
That's a victory walk.
That's a victory walk. Yeah, skip. Go ahead, skip, Aqua.
I got away with
you
it.
You deserve that.
They're still going.
Saving the game for RSG at a clutch moment.
And they take down Carl Daisy too. It seems like that steal It seems like that steal has thrown off Carl Tizzy, and now it's all RSG. What?
Well, right now, this is going to be the Lord taken care of very quickly. But look at RSG Philippines trying to get in placement. Yawi has the information here.
Let's see, can he?
Oh,
They
and
still have
Eman.
Benny Cutie. Wild charge on to one. It's Eman, puts up the go away. Fails
Look at the damage.
onto that demonic force. Can they go? Can they go, Benny Cutie? Sanford just displacing Eman.
Demon Kite from the back.
One more, and he does. Demon Kite in trouble this time around. Sanford goes up, continues the demonic force, and it's all right. Great recovery here by Echo.
And the game continues, ladies and gentlemen. Excellence in execution by these two championship caliber teams.
Man, again, the fact here is still they could not get to Benny Cutie. I mean, with all that happening for RSG Philippines, they did whittle down that gold lead. At one point, it was about 7K. So that massive steal for the Lord. But the downside is they didn't even get to those base turrets just yet. So at this point, RSG Philippines still on the defense. They have to be super careful with this because right now, Benny Cutie's still living large, basically.
Yep.
And at this point, it is going to be tough. Might just come down to another Lord fight.
All right, items right now being juggled around. Aqua just picked up a Winter Truncheon, swapped one out, so he's going to be going for more defense to sustain. He knows a well-timed Winter Truncheon and usage of the ultimate might actually be what RSG needs to win a long and extended team fight. RSG, they're going for a big gamble here, but no. They couldn't get any info in the bottom lane. They think it's way too risky. They're going to go ahead and reset their position, but they've already popped the conceal. Athena shields across the board for RSG, going to help with the damage out of Sanji, Carl Tizzy, and Sanford. Meanwhile, on the side of Echo, they've loaded on some blade armors for themselves, but they are fully built. Both teams fully built right now. We're just waiting on the potential last item of light, it looks like. But you're going to be seeing a lot of juggling. Watch out for the juggles of Winter Truncheons, Immortalities, and Wind of Natures.
Yeah, this is so tough for Eman especially because now with the next Lord coming up in just a bit, you know how crucial that's going to be. And like you mentioned, that item juggling is going to come into play here because still, once that ultimate is down, you don't have much more of an escape. You do have a little bit of peel available to you, but what we've been seeing Light do is actually be that initiator, be that one to hopefully set things up, put people in the right positioning so that the rest of the team, specifically even Aqua and Demon Kite, can kind of capitalize on that. So Eman, very crucial moment that's coming up here as this Lord is spawned. Carl Tizzy is going to go ahead and work on it. You also have all these immortalities to work on if you're RSG Philippines against Echo, but let's see who takes this one ahead of us.
There's clear vision on where RSG Philippines is, but it's a long walk for the rest of Echo to come in. Very
Yawi
clutch.
blasted!
They pop the immortality on the Yawi, and there's a cult altar, and there's demonic force. Sanford just flying around. Carl Tizzy secures the Lord. Demon Kite gets his immortality pop, but look at Sanford. He's going 1v4. Down goes Kite. He's no longer flying, fam. Down goes Aqua as well. Sanji gets his revenge. There's a knocked up chain. Nats as well. And then there were two. Eman and Light. Can they defend here? But Echo, they're feeling it. They are the house of highlights and prodigies, TZs, and TPs. They'll be taking game 2 as well. Match point for the house of Echo.
Wipe out! Wipe out with the Bruno! 10-0-3! Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone.
What a massive game for the Storm. Benny Cutie locking in that Bruno with all the bans targeted towards even that choice for a gold lane for a marksman. He brings out the Bruno and has a massive performance on it, and just across the board, even down to that last skirmish, that team fight, that